Hey guys, my name is Josh Pflasterer with Bow Only Outdoors, and in this video I'm going to show you how I like to set the tension on a resistance release. Now, if this is your first time setting up and shooting a resistance release, I recommend that you set the tension based off of your holding weight of your bow, at least to start. So what you do is you take a scale, measure your holding weight, and say for example, your holding weight is 11 pounds. What you're gonna do is set this at least 5 pounds heavier, so you'd wanna have it set at 16 pounds or higher. The heavier it is, generally the better it is to learn on. It can be harder to get it to fire based on a number of different circumstances, but that's a good starting point if you're just starting out and just going through the process to learn it. If you've been shooting your resistance release for a while and you've gone through the process or started on the process, you may notice that it may be a little bit too light or maybe a little bit too heavy to get it to go off. And a lot of people always ask, how do you determine what tension to set that release at? Well, the way I do it is pretty simple actually. I start with it really heavy, almost to the point where when I'm pulling through my shot, I can't get it to fire, okay? But when I do that, I'll notice there's a specific point in there where my pin holds extremely steady on the target. When I first start pulling, there's a little bit of wobble. I get to a certain point, the pin really slows down, steadies up for just a brief couple seconds, 2 or 3 seconds. And then after that, after I start pulling harder and getting tired, my pin breaks down and becomes wobbly and I let down, right? So what we want to do is set that tension so that it goes off when we're in our most steadiest pulling position, okay? So when you start with it heavy, what you do is you draw back, look for that steady moment. As soon as the pin starts to wobble, let down, take your Allen wrench on your release and back out that screw. That way you can reduce the tension. Now do this just small turns at a time because we want to slowly work our way down to it. We don't want to jump into it. And basically we're just going to keep backing down that screw on that resistance release until we get to the point where that release breaks right at our steadiest moment in our pull. There's no one setting that will work for everyone, just because depending on the bow, the stabilizer setup, the draw length, the holding weight, and a number of other different factors, it'll all change what your tension of your resistance release should be set at. So just go through the process yourself and figure out what works best for you and where you hold the steadiest before that release actually fires and goes off. It's a pretty simple process, but that's how I recommend you set up the tension on your resistance release. If you have any questions about it, feel free to comment on this video below or shoot us a message at Bow Only Outdoors on our Instagram page or Facebook, or message us on our contact option on our website at bowonlyoutdoors.com. I'm Josh Pflasterer with Bow Only Outdoors. Thanks for watching.